There is a strong sense of futility running like a thread in the fabric of today's readings. Seemingly that is. Ezekiel being forewarned about the rebellious Israelites to whom he is being sent to prophesy. Described as hard of face, kapal ng mukha, and obstinate of heart, parang batoong puso. St. Paul, finding himself face to face with real suffering, a thorn in the flesh, that's what he calls it, himself face to face with pain about which he beseeched the Lord 3 times, to no avail. Jesus being confronted by his fellow townmates with doubting and belittling questions, all pointing toward rejection and unbelief from the very people who should have been the first to support him. Futility. This seems to characterize the efforts of so many well-meaning people in our midst, especially now priests who are being killed left and right. Despite heroic efforts at fostering the common good, despite the energies expended at making government really deliver the goods to the people that need them most, despite the repeated teachings of the Church on important matters of faith and morals, like the sanctity of life, for example, all we seem to see is the progressive degradation of societal norms, structures, and values. The traffic situation only worsens in our cities and congested towns, where creative traffic schemes, no matter how brilliant, are no match for ill-educated and selfish drivers and pedestrians, I should say, and citizens who insist on behaving like as if traffic rules were meant for others but not for them. Values taught in schools and proclaimed in pulpits do not stand a chance in the classroom of daily life, where just about the only real and substantial education that the young receive comes from social media, puro murahan, puro bintangan, fake news, and so many other things. Cursing and heaping bad words on each other seems to be the norm, the run of the day. The dreams for change do not even see the light of day, nipped in the bud, as it were, by a bureaucracy that has taken pride of place as one of the most corrupt nations in the whole world. Prophets who risk rejection continue to fight for the rights of the unborn, waging a seemingly lost battle for what is morally upright, whose light is now fast fading compared to the glitter of a consumerist, individualistic, hedonistic, and throwaway culture of personal convenience and personal gain. The list could go on, actually. Shakespeare's words sound true enough for us. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. We see weakness and helplessness before the might of a culture of sin and death that masquerades under the guise of self-fulfillment, self-actualization, and enlightened social development. Our hearts thus find sympathetic resonance in the psalmist's prayer that we now make our very own. Our eyes are fixed on the Lord, pleading for His mercy. Sated with the contempt of the proud and the mockery of the arrogant, we plead pity from the Lord. The Lord hears our prayer. Today we see ourselves blessed to be counted among the ranks of Ezekiel, who remained unfazed by the obduracy and hard-heartedness of the people he was sent to. We consider ourselves favored by the Lord, who found us worthy enough to be in league with St. Paul, who knew firsthand what it meant to be weak, to be insulted, to be persecuted, and to be subjected to all forms of hardships and constraints. Most of all, we see ourselves privileged to follow the footsteps of Christ Himself, who found no honor and faith from among the people of His native place. We are fortunate to be afforded the singular opportunity to respond in faith to Him, for whose sake we are content with weaknesses. And this, my dear friends, is your kalakbay at katoto in this week's episode of Puso sa Puso saying thank you and God bless us all.